What is up, bros and broettes? I'm InkSlasher44, and that is right, as you can tell by the title, Versus is back on this channel. And what Versus is normally we put two weapons head to head to see which one is better and to make you a better Call of Duty player. How this works is we look at every single weapon's stats, and for every stat that's better for an individual gun, we give that gun a point, and by the end of the video, whichever gun has more points is therefore the better weapon, and it will help you be a better Call of Duty player. This is a very, very popular series on this channel in Advanced Warfare, and hopefully will be throughout Black Ops 3. This literally came through popular demand. People kept asking me on my Black Ops 3 videos to do this, and we're starting out with the Kuda versus the VMP, two of my favorite weapons in Black Ops 3, and let me know in the comment section below or on Twitter, link in the description, which guns you want to see next. And honestly, I'm more likely to take your suggestions from Twitter just because I try to respond to absolutely everyone on there, and it's really the best way to get in contact with me. But today, it's the Kuda versus the VMP. So, like I said, these are my favorite, well, one of my favorite SMGs in the game, and actually some of my favorite weapons. So the first stat I always like to start out with is the damage stat. So for the Kuda, we got 35 damage up close, 30 at the second range, 23 at the third range, and 19 at long range. This ranges the weapon from a 3 to a 6 bullet kill, where if you look at the VMP, it is actually just a 4 to a 5 bullet kill. You got 30 damage up close, and it drops off to 23 later on. Now if we look at the ranges for this, the Kuda has a 3 bullet kill up to 6 meters, and then up to 28 meters is a 4 bullet kill, whereas for the VMP, it's a 4 bullet kill up to 14 meters. What does this mean? It means the damage profile is much better for the Kuda. That 3 bullet kill is awesome, and also it has a longer 4 bullet kill range as well. And then both of them have basically the same 5 bullet kill range. They both basically are just a 5 bullet kill to infinity as far as you can shoot the weapon. So overall, plus 1 point for the Kuda. It starts off with the lead just because of that 3 bullet kill is so key. Now the next thing I want to look at is fire rate. Fire rate is hugely important in weapons in any Call of Duty game, and if we look at this one, the Kuda has a 723 fire rate, whereas the VMP has a 909 fire rate. Now I mean that 9 doesn't mean anything, but 900 is much better than 723, which means boom, plus 1 point for the VMP. So VMP goes ahead and ties that bad boy up. Now the next thing that is hugely important is accuracy, and these two weapons are both alright in the accuracy department, but the Kuda is definitely better. If we look at these two weapons, the accuracy on the Kuda is just better because it has a slower fire rate, and that's that. It's much easier to stay on target simply because there's less bullets causing recoil, and because of that, boom, plus 1 points for the Kuda. So you're going to notice simply by watching this that guns are very well balanced in this game. When one has a higher damage, the other one has a higher fire rate, and if we look at some of the more in-depth stats, such as the reload speed, it's actually the exact same for both. It's 1.8 seconds. Same goes for the aim down sights time. It's the exact same for both, 0.2 seconds or 200 milliseconds. Now, these are both very good stats and compare very well versus other classes of weapons like assault rifles or LMGs. So very good stats right there, make them very good rushing around weapons, but I can't award any points for that because they're exactly the same on both of the weapons. Now the next thing we can look at that is different is the magazine size. Now the magazine size on the Kuda is 30, whereas the magazine size for the VMP is 40. So boom, plus 1 points for the VMP. It's not a huge stat, but since it has a faster fire rate, you need that bigger magazine, and that bigger magazine does save you in some gunfights. Now that being said, I do think extended mags is a good attachment on both of these weapons. Now the next thing I normally look at when we're at a tie like this, like right now, we are tied 2-2. And normally when we are in a tie, I look at time to kill. But it just so happens that these two weapons are so well balanced that when you're right up close, the Kuda has a better time to kill. It's just a little bit faster because of that 3 bullet kill range. Then you go ahead and look at the VMP, and this one, as you get further and further away, the faster it kills people, simply because it has a faster fire rate. So the time to kill really evens each other out, and by the time you average the two out, they're actually exactly the same. So that doesn't solve anything, but there is one more thing we can look at, and it's kind of a scapegoat on my part, and it's DPS. So the DPS is higher for the VMP in both ways. When you're up close, it has a higher DPS. For the Kuda, it's 422 damage per second. For the VMP, it's 454 damage per second, where at long range, you're looking at the Kuda at 229 damage per second, and the VMP at 288 damage per second. So in both cases, the VMP has a much higher DPS, but not by a huge amount. It's not like overwhelming. And if you take into account accuracy, it may not be as good. So really the VMP is just a better gun for those people who have better accuracy if you really look at it. Because yes, you're pumping out higher damage, but it's hard to be as accurate. So if you are a good player who can really stay on target, I highly suggest the VMP. If you're a player who has a little bit struggling with your accuracy, the Kuda is the way to go. But like I said, the DPS is just a little bit better for the VMP, so boom, +1 point, it wins 3-2. The winner this week is the VMP, just by such a slight margin, but I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. What is your favorite weapon out of these two weapons? Mine, probably the VMP, but that being said, I've used it a little bit more, so I'm a little bit biased. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. The stats have spoken, and the VMP is the better weapon this week. So Kuda, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check me out on Twitter, link in the description. And until next time, peace out.